All right, everyone. Steven here, aka Case for Silver, live from Nunavut in the middle of the tundra. Not live because the internet is too slow. But nonetheless, this is recorded this evening and will come up in a couple hours. I want to start first by discussing the price of gold. All right, so today we're going to look at ratios. That's what I want to cover in this evening's video. And this is the price of gold on a monthly chart. Okay, 1971, the gold price was 35 bucks. All right, today we're at 1847. We hit a peak of about, what can we call it? 2075, right? So the whole point of this chart is just to show you that if you reverse this chart, you see what the US dollar has done compared to gold, right? It falls in value. Since Nixon took us off the gold standard, it's just been a roller coaster, right? It's been up, down here, and then right up there. Fiat currencies, as we know, are on their deathbeds. They're leaving. They're none of them have ever lasted the test of time. So this is the main thesis behind my investments. Anything real, anything hard assets, I think I'll do very well. And the reason I want to cover ratios today is what are we going to do if silver goes to over 50 bucks or gold starts trading over 2,000. Right now we can draw nice resistance lines, support, Fibonacci retracements. We can have fun with the charts. When you start hitting all-time highs, when are you going to sell? Right? So this is probably the hardest question, and this is the hardest thing to do. So looking at an asset in fiat currency like the US dollar, which most of the charts are, we're only looking at the value of it with fiat, right? So if we compare this, any asset with each other, we'll be able to really see where the values are at, what's undervalued for real, and then we can make our investing decision regarding that. So let's jump right in. Let's look at the first ratio charts that I prepared today. All right, so this is the platinum to silver ratio. So quite a few things on here. So I'm just going to start by looking at this trend line, right? Nice trend line 1, 2, 3, 4. This one didn't quite hit, right? And we got a kind of a downtrend line down here, and we're winding up in this wedge, right? So currently, as we speak, 1 ounce of platinum only buys 42 ounces of silver. All right. So down here, to make it clear, silver expensive and platinum is cheap right now when we compare it just one to the other, right? Back here in 2002, 2004, right, we hit the peak where 1 ounce of platinum purchased 150 ounces of silver, right? So if you're just playing this chart, if you're looking at this, what should we buy? Well, let's buy some platinum, right? And platinum is one of the hard assets right now that are the cheapest in the metals, in my opinion, when I look at the charts, when I look at the ratios. So if we play this ratio right, we go up here, let's say it bounces back and we try to test these all-time highs one day, it could take years, right? We're looking at 3.57 times more ounces of silver if you trade it in here, right? So this is, when you talk about generational wealth, ratios, is critical. So I've actually teach this to my kids because one day I want to leave them with some metals, right? Obviously. And then they can take that, and if they understand the concept, well, they can keep doing the same thing, and in generations to come, we can compound our wealth, all the while never cashing out the actual asset with fiat. So it's very interesting stuff. Once you get your mind around really looking at assets and evaluating them against other ones, it really makes things clear. Platinum to gold ratio, right? So same thing here. Up here, gold is cheap compared to platinum, right? Platinum's expensive, right? So at the peak, 1 ounce of platinum purchased 2.13 ounces of gold, right? So now we got this big wedge coming down, right? We have a major resistance here that I identified for later if ever we bounce up, right? And if we go a bit to the right here, zoom out. So we're looking at, if you buy platinum today down here, right, and the ratio goes back to the peak, you'll be able to have 4.53 times the amount of gold. So never mind the US dollars you're going to sell it for. This is what you can play. This is what you can watch, right? So if we break out of this, right, this is a monthly chart. All this are monthly chart. If we break out of this wedge to the upside, you know, platinum is it's gonna ride, right? And let's stick to platinum. I'm gonna skip those two for now. Let's go to another platinum chart, which is comparing platinum and palladium, right? So we know they're used in cars and everything. Up here, 1 ounce of platinum purchased 5.53 ounces of palladium, right? And then we had the major crash. Look at this. This is crazy. How low this is. How undervalued platinum is compared to palladium, right? And you can look, all these charts, by the way, you can look at time frames that are much longer, 100 years. I've looked at those, and that's what I've for my core assets, that's how I build my my wealth accumulation plan, right? So platinum is expensive, palladium's cheap. Platinum is cheap, palladium is expensive. This is one of my plans. I do want to get palladium, and I want to switch when this reverses in my core physical holdings, right? So, excuse me, 1 ounce of platinum here, purchase 0.45 ounces of palladium. And look at that. This is much more significant than the other charts. 1 ounce of platinum purchases 5.53 ounces of palladium here. So if you play this ratio, it could take it, you know what, if it takes a decade, if you're in it for the long term, for your children and for their children, you play these long-term ratios. I mean, I think it's a huge opportunity. And yeah, now 2 more ratios. There's a whole whack of them that we can look at, okay? And I will in future videos. Up here is the gold to silver ratio, my favorite charts of all. If I could pick one chart to follow for this bull market, it would be this one. Up here, silver is cheap, gold's expensive. Down below, silver is expensive and gold is cheap compared to each other. So we see this long-term trend line. And I was watching this, if you follow me on Twitter, I was always watching this line. I couldn't wait for it to break. 2011, right? We started this. This is when we hit the peak in 2011. Then we started going up, right? So this is where 50 bucks silver, we had $2,000 gold. This is where it happened, right? And then boom, the bear market, right? So you can see bear market, GSR goes up, gold silver ratio, you know, it's not good for the metals. Finally, look at this, and this was in April, March, right? March Madness, COVID-19, $125, 100, see, you're used to saying dollars. And by the way, I never edited my videos so far. I love just spontaneous, making them real. 125, the GSR up here. And when we hit down here, we just blew right by it, right? So we got lots of momentum. That's usually what happens. And when things go up, they go down as fast. We went right through this trend line, came down, and we bounced right on this 70 GSR level here, right where this nice resistance was from back in 2016. This is completely normal. You want some consolidation. Bounced up, retested that trend line, very close to it. We're coming back down. And look, I mean, if you look at this, would you see that there was big price action on last Friday? No, nothing's changed. This is bullish, right? So we're consolidating. Okay, once we go through this floor, right? We got our first target and our second target, and then we're off to the races, right? So for me, the bull market's going to start when we're over 50 bucks silver. Again, that's in US dollars, but what are you gonna sell it for, right? Get prepared. I have an ultimate target of 1 to 15 on the gold to silver ratio. I think we might peak lower than that, but this will be fun times for sure. By the way, I've been in this since 2011. I bought all the way up in 2011. I bought that 26, I think was my first purchase back then, you know, 32, 36, 46, 49. I'm all excited. We're going to break out. It's going to 50 bucks, going to be the floor. And then, yeah, that happened. But I'm still here. I wasn't in the miners at all. I was only physical back then. So, and I've accumulated since that time. While nobody was talking about it, it was really boring. But now it's exciting. So after yesterday, trust me, I'm the last guy that's going to be stressed about the price action. Now, the miners. All right. So GDXJ, these ETFs, all right, they may not have all the real junior, you can get some crazy moves in the junior markets, junior miners, but just the GDXJ, for me, I mean, just to minimize the risk, right? We got this nice bottoming formation here, right? So we got this horizontal trend line. Once we break this thing, right? I mean, look at that. So we currently, one share of GDXJ buys you 0.05 ounces of gold, right? At the peak in 2011, at the same gold price, right? Pretty much. One GDX share buys 0.12 ounces of gold. I mean, wow, right? So this is what I'm doing. I've got this. If it goes back up here, I look at these charts. Maybe I'll switch to gold. Depending on the other ratios, it might be another asset. I won't keep the miners for that long. This is more of I'm trying to get some leverage on both the gold price and the undervaluation of the mining companies, right? And the last ratio chart I want to look at, that was both. Sorry. So that's it. So those are the ratios I wanted to look at tonight. Okay. Now we're gonna move straight into. I posted on Twitter, got some feedback on some stocks that we wanted to break down. So this is pretty much what I do every evening, live on video. So I share some stocks. And by the way, I'm more of a believer that the way I like to communicate is like this, right? I'd like to show the process of what I'm doing. I like to have this discussion. I wish I could have everybody in the room or live on a call. We'll probably do that later. But I like just discussing, sharing my opinion, and I like the process of looking at charts, of analyzing, seeing what I see, taking my time. For me, it's fun, right? I mean, it's a passion of mine. That's what I like. I mean, I can spend a couple hours on this stuff, and I don't even know where the time went by, right? So after working a 12-hour day today, I'm still on this thing and looking at charts. So I must love it. So Cara Mining, right? Monthly chart. Let's back it up. So I remember this company back then. Not back here because I was born back here somewhere. But I remember this company is a large company before. You can see that they took quite the hit, right? Look at the accumulation of volume you see here, which is normal when you look at a monthly chart. I mean, the market's traded a lot more these days. So you see bottoming here. And I like this formation, right? So we kind of have a nice shoot up here. So we can see we can draw a nice trend line up here, right? We come down, we consolidate in this bull formation, right? So if I'm looking to get into this thing on a monthly chart, I like buying cheap, right? And if I don't get my price, I'm not going to buy it. I'm okay with that. There's so many opportunities that there's no point in pushing something and not managing your risk, right? So nice chart. If it pulls back down here, in my opinion, good place to buy, right? Where's our major? If I look at the major, and I used to use a lot of moving averages and everything in my charts, but it just puts noise where I don't need it. Prices tell me everything that I need to know anyway. So I'm looking at this, right down here, right down here, right here. This is a major resistance, right? And then we hit it again here, right? Charts don't lie. So if we break through this, for sure, that would be a nice entry. You put your stop under there, nice place, but I'd rather buy it down here. And then, the story of gold and silver. So buying on the cheap because you know the fundamentals. I like it. I like it a lot. What do we got? First Majestic, one of the best silver primary mines out there in my opinion. right? Let's draw some trend lines here. And you see I reset these charts because, again, I like doing the process and seeing what I'm doing. I'm just drawing some trend lines. I don't do it, I'm not going to do it perfect there on this video, but it's pretty simple to see what happens, right? Boom, 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 boom. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. You're going to bounce back down, right? Do I buy this thing here right now? Nah, I don't think so. I mean, it hasn't broken out. It's right at a spot where there's resistance. I mean, why would you buy it here? If it winds up and you put a tight spot and you're really trading it, yeah, you know, maybe. If it breaks out and then I like to get, you know, pull back and then buy it back, that's something I like to do. But this thing could very well, you know, possible, right? It's possible, but we're bullish. Remember, we're on the monthly chart, okay? I usually go on the daily, but I'm sticking to monthlies today. So, right down here, I'm gonna cheat. I don't feel like staying on a monthly. All right, so you can see the trend lines are pretty accurate. You can adjust them, right? So you watch these trend lines. You buy here. If it breaks, you put your stop if you want below, or you add to your position, depending on your strategy. I mean, that's up to you. Build your trading plan, your investment plan. It depends what you're in it for, how long, blah, blah, blah. So if it breaks this, right, this is where you can go, you know, down here, right? But if we respect this and we go through this, that's what's going to happen. And it's probabilities, right? We got to look at probabilities. It's a bull market in silver. Probabilities of this breaking out and this trend line being respected, I would say, is 80% and crashing down to 20%. You know, what am I seeing? So yeah, I wouldn't have seen this in the monthly, right? So time frames, critical. All right, inverted head and shoulders, right? So this is major support right here, $11. We got a bounce down here. Very good entry. All right, back to the monthly chart. We're already 17 minutes into this. Come on, Stephen, talk faster. Don't be shy to go 1.5 or 1.25 times faster if you wish. I do it all the time. I won't be insulted. Monthly chart, GLO, Global Atomic Corporation, Bitcoin style. Look at this. Boom, right? I mean, this is a huge move. Must be uranium. 134, 175, right? Okay, I can't break this down on this one. I gotta go over here. See, my internet's slow, eh? It's very slow here. So let's break this thing down right here. We got a horizontal line here. That's resistance. We got a nice flag pole, right? And we have very, very clear tight flag. Look at this. Is bullish, right? It's really cooling up, right? So it's bullish. There's more of a chance it goes up, you know. But if you want to play this, if you want to get into this, get into it. Okay, if I want to get into this, because I can't tell you what to do, no financial advice here. If I want to get into this, I buy it here, right? 160, and I put a stop down here. If it breaks through, I'm out, right? And then I get back in on lower levels, you know. First one of these levels, maybe down here, right? So another thing I use, right? Picture, get out of there. I got a picture of myself there. I don't know how to get rid of it. All right, let's go right to the peak. So right to the peak, if we want to see, it's already retraced to the 382, right, fib, and almost to the 50%, right? So down here would be a major pullback. I wouldn't expect that to happen, but it could. So very, it's a chart that for sure is a bit more difficult to break down, right? It's already played out, it's already went up, but for sure you can expect continuation. It's just pausing here. This summer I was trading, and that's all I was looking for. Something that broke out, consolidates. I'd buy on the breakout. I put my stop right underneath the tight range, and then I'd play the next move up, right? So that's a trade. I like those. Next, FFMGF, First Mining Gold Corp. Cool, clean chart. Okay, downtrend line, you can draw some more there if you wish. All right, so we went up. We are doing this little flag down here like this on the monthly, 1, 2, 3 months. And now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Let me guess, August. So the peak in August, right? We had a nice pullback. We got a nice little spot here, right? That we tested successfully, right? So you buy this thing around here. When it bounces down on this line, you put your stop not too far if you wish, or you add when it drops lower, up to you. And then when it bounces up, you know, you play this, right? So beautiful chart, beautiful pullback. I loved the 4 U's. So this thing's been blowing up on Twitter. I should have bought this thing because I don't know nothing, but the charts were telling me it was bullish. Again, it's the same story as the other one, right? Okay, we shoot up, a little consolidation up here, right on previous resistance, right? If we look back, I mean, this thing has a lot of potential. I like the bottoming pattern. I love the volume over here. Let's go on the daily. Still breathing hard from my workout. So we shot right up here, right? See, it's the same chart. It's the same chart as the other one, right? So yeah, just be very careful if you buy up here, right? If I would buy up here, I'd have a very tight stop. Especially in something that I've just learned about with uranium. I'm not comfortable in riding this all the way down here and then hoping it goes up for another friggin' 10 years, right? I don't think it's going to happen. I know the story. I know the. I've researched it quite a bit. More research to do, but yeah, nice chart. Defiance Silver Corp. Yeah. This is one of the videos I did. I think it was yesterday that we compared the different silver junior stocks to each other to see the percentage that they went up. And I'm looking here because that's my camera, but you're up here. Sorry. But this one was the best performer, right? So when you see that, you say, well, probably a strong company, right? So the charts tell you everything. They predict a lot of stuff too, which is it's always interesting how things happen, right? So on the monthly chart, this is what I'm looking at here. It's not perfect, my line here. There we go. I would rather draw it. See, I'm not looking up there. I'm looking down here. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches, right? We came down, went up. You know, if I want to buy this thing, right? Where would I want to go? Get out of there, you picture. Well, right in here, right? More down, right? I don't expect it to take this long, right? I made this too big, right? Over here, test this, right? At the right, and then you look at the horizontal lines, right? You can also add RSI, Bollinger Bands. You can do all this fancy stuff for sure, right? But right, look how these cross, right? This crosses here, this crosses here. You got 2 trend lines. You got a pullback here, strong, you know. It's I like this entry in this nice little corner here. URG, what are we looking at? UR Energy, another uranium. People are hot on uranium right now. On the daily, eh? Yeah, I knew there was something wrong. Okay. This thing went all the way up to $3. We're at 83 cents. So bottoming out here, we have, what do we see? What does DLFI see? Okay, so we're right up against this trend line, aren't we? Yeah, look at that. We can, if we take the wicks out, we've broken out, right? If we put the wicks in, yeah, see, we went out, we broke out, we pulled back. We have this, you see this nice curve here? I'm not going to draw it, it's going to take too long because these curves are not easy to draw sometimes. But we're right against this, again, we're on the monthly chart, we're right against this good support right down here. Look all the way back down here, all the way here. This is in 2009. Support. Resistance. Broke through again. Now we're through it again. Are we gonna stick above it? Right? Good place to be here if you want, but tight stop again. Next one, the monthly chart. Beautiful bottom here. Oh, I cheated. Sandstorm gold. Yes, I've added to this. I didn't want to delete my nice, beautiful arc here. So cup and handle on the monthly chart, right? So we shot up, came down, respecting this arc, right? Sometimes we just go below it, right below it, right? Right below it here, okay? But I'm seeing this is a royalty company. I love royalty companies. A lot of my holdings of so they're not miners, so I shouldn't say miners, right? So a lot of royalties. So they came back down, right? So we got this nice handle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, right? I'm adding down here. I've added again. I think my position is full because I don't want to put too much of my fiat trash in this thing, right? But if it bounces down here, I'm right on the trend line. I'm very comfortable here. I'm very comfortable. I like my entry. I think we got a huge opportunity right now to add to this. ELY was another one. Again, these are just the 10. I just took the first 10 in chronicle order to respect what I said. That's the one I'm breaking down. So we're coming up here. This is ELY, another one of my holdings too. Shot up, came back down, right? So let's put, when I have these nice correction, I like to go at the bottom here, just go up here, right? So we have corrected right to the 618 fib, almost, and then we're curving, right? So if we just switch to the daily, okay, you can see this 1, 2, 3. Okay, and this is my horizontal trend line that goes on the monthly, right? So you can still, that's what's nice. You can respect these trend lines. You know, I would get worried if we, crash below this horizontal line, right? Now, as long as we stay above this, we go to this arc. What a nice place to add to ride this thing back up. In my opinion, I am not a financial advisor. I am a bearded investor that loves this stuff. Too much? No, I don't think so. Steven, you're on the daily. Why don't you switch to the monthly? You told us we were looking at monthly charts. Soul Gold, PLC, ORD. All right, this thing has been trading since what, 2006? There's a line. Pretty solid, eh? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So you can expect that to be the next resistance. All right, and if we draw a trend line here, up there, let's go get this, let's go get the wicks, the candle wicks, right? Okay, choppy, eh? Wow, like that's why I'm thinking as I'm doing this, right? So I never looked at this chart until I did this video. Okay, we broke out of this. This was resistance, resistance, resistance. We broke out. We're in this nice little spot here. Good place to add, yeah, potentially, right? And the funny thing is, this thing's at 35 bucks, right? It's not a penny stock, right? It's but it went from $2. Damn. I see why people are looking at this. What are we looking at here? 2,000%. Yeah, I'm impressed. Yeah, so you buy here. Where would you have to put your stop if you'd go below? 15%. So I'd go on the daily. This thing is insane volatility. Daily. I like to manage risk, right? This is how I roll. I want to protect my capital so I can stay alive and keep doing this forever until I die. That was a bit... Okay. Horizontal trend line here, right? So if I'm looking at this, I would much rather buy it right here. 31.15. Bring the price down here for me, and pull the trigger. Put a stop not too far down there. Once I see the price pattern, then I go to the hourly. I look at it, set some buy orders. That's it. I've reviewed my whole 10 stocks. I reviewed the GSR. So I want to take a few minutes now, just to, if you would allow me, just to talk about the new membership site I opened. I opened it. I was debating, do I just do a free thing so I can, share more videos, YouTube, whatever. So I went with a membership site. I put it at a price of a beer per month. If you want to pay me a beer, check out what I'm doing. Support me if I've added any value. I truly appreciate it. So far, the members are really enjoying it. I want to say what I do and what I don't do. I'm not fancy. I'm not going to send out reports. I'm not going to be creating... There's a lot of people that do a much better job than me when it comes to this. I love charting. I love talking. I love the energy. I love explaining this stuff. I love going through it, having fun, the journey of charting, the art of doing it, learning together. I also look at macro, so case for silver. So why silver, why I'm so bullish, why I rode the whole downtrend down from 2011, why I've accumulated since then. There's a ton of reasons why I like it much more than gold. There's a ton of reasons for those. Silver's been money, way more often than gold has. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. So I cover all that in there. I share my portfolio, what I'm doing. I do live videos to show you where I trade. So, and I don't edit anything. I just have fun with it. And yeah, so if you want to check it out, below I put a link, free trial. It's for a week. Subscribe. Come check me out. I'm not going to say we because there's no we. It's Case for Silver is just me. A bearded guy sharing charts, loving what I do. I'm selling my house soon in Q1. I'm going to get probably I'm hoping for about 170K. I have no debt on the house, so I'm going to take that money, build a plan, invest it, look at the ratios, look at all that. There will be physical involved in there, so I'm going to share that very openly with everyone. I have a little farm. I'm self-reliant. I'm moving out there and trying to live more off the land. We're also going to homeschool the kids. So it's a whole new adventure that I'm undertaking. And I said, what the heck, why not just put it in here, put it out there. Maybe it'll just motivate other people to try to do the same. So much stuff going on in the world, right? So many restrictions, so many, it's changing so fast. So I believe we got to get our hands dirty again. I believe we gotta go back to the basics, live an essential life, decide what your priorities are. This is what I'm all about. Investing, hard assets. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please share it. Please retweet. Please subscribe. Please ring the bell. Please do all that cool stuff that you do. And thank you very much, and have an awesome evening, great weekend, and let's see how things open up on Monday. Bye.